Wow. You can literally see my car. A little blue speck. That's crazy. Alright, so it's not that humid, but with all the energy exertion going uphill, I'm starting to get real hot and sweaty, so it's good for my shirt. This is our next slab of rock, so as you can see, water is dribbling down it, so it does flow in two parts. And we're still not quite on the edge yet, we can go a little bit more till death. Drops right off. Check out this rock over here, it's like a cool cleft. How's it going, guys? Today we're going to get up Kenilworth Bluff, this big boy table top right in front of us. So we'll see how thick it is up there, but there's a track that is a bit overgrown that we're going to give a crack. It's about 6 k's return, and we're going to head up to the right end of it first, and then if it's possible to meter along it, we're going to try and go right along the other end, because there's apparently 2 other named peaks. Even though it looks like one peak, but they're kind of 3 names in one up there, so see how we go. We're not far off, about 2 minutes away from where we're going to start this hike. Alright, so you're pretty much parking just on the side of the road. There's a little track just down here near 2 houses, but there's nowhere to pull over, so I've chosen this wider section here. This is the side-on view of it. It's pretty gnarly. Looks pretty damn steep. Looks like there's just like one bit that's hidden behind these trees where the track actually will get up. Somehow some little shoulder goes straight up, so that's interesting. Yeah, people say it's steep, but I'm sure it's not that bad. You can kind of see it if I can get the right angle. I'm pretty sure it's either going there, yeah, or there. Either way, we'll figure it out. Cool, let's get at it. Yeah, this is your track. So it's been slashed semi-recently, which is good. And there's not signposted at all, so you just need to know where you're going. Hello, random feathered bird flying away. See how we go. Lantana on the sides. House with the dog up there. Just don't walk down the driveway. It's a little bit dewy, but luckily the grass is cut. If it was head high grass, it would be soaked by now. So there you go. Alright, as you get down, you've got a little picnic spot which is super shaded, which maybe in summer is nice, but I mean at the moment it's winter. Not the best spot to sit in the shade. Alright, so we've got these little steps, we can cross a creek, then we're going to go up. I believe this is Bluff Creek, if I'm correct. An old bridge. That's pretty cool. Well, it's not that old, but yeah. If there's anything waterfall related up there, we'll have to check that out on the map later. Alright, up this gully. And just keep following this fence line. Now, even though we're going through here, this is still an easement, so just keep following this gap, follow this line. It's about 8 degrees right now, lovely. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I would never have thought even to do this track, because without the information I found online, you wouldn't even end up here, you wouldn't even know. And this is the easement, it looks like someone's property, but anyway, got some more steps. It's going to start to climb from here on out, I think. We've done our flat, easy part. This has been slashed, it's good. Yeah, so hopefully, people say they did lose the trail a lot. There's a few ribbons, so we're going to see how bad it is. It's already steep. Yeah, love it. So much pressure. These boards are falling forward from the soil. Just the water weight and the rain. Alright, after the 1,000 steps, I'll show you again where I come up. That was a mission. I'm not even showing how steep that is on camera. It was full on. You get up in this little plateau at the start of the end at least. Another picnic table, because at this point you want to lay down and sleep. Woo. So we got pig ribbon on the fence going that way. I'm assuming this marker's trying to tell me to go that way too. I don't know what that is. I guess that's nothing. A mistake track that people might get confused on going down, but apparently we've got to go around. There's another gully here, so our luck was, we've got to go down a gully and still up yet again. Fun times. Anyone caught of the pain. Alright, down we go. Alright, so the elevation gain is going to get up to over 400, about 440 I believe. We're only barely at 200 now, so halfway to the elevation gain. So like I said, it's going to dip down a little bit, then it's going to climb up probably just as steep as what we just did, if not worse. And then we'll be up. So fun times. Still pretty discernible in here, which is good. Really don't know why there's no signs for this. This is on all trails, it's on Gaia with the track, so but yeah, good on the government for getting an easement from the landholders, because otherwise they would have blocked this access. Okay, it's sliding down. This is going to suck going back up this again at the end, because once you start going down from the top, when you finish the hike, you don't want to have to reclimb stuff halfway along. That is the joys of life. Nice birds in here. Smells a bit like bats too somewhere. Okay, so it's going to zigzag around, and then it's going to start, as it goes up, it's going to start cutting sideways on the right to gain its elevation alongside of I guess the side of a cliff face section to actually get up. So this will be, yeah, like I said, it's like it's 4 parts really. The semi-flat intro where we just were, that climb up the steps, this gradual, slightly down, but kind of almost flat middle part, and then the last elevation climb. So 2 real steep ups and then 2 semi-flat bits in between. That's the gist of it. Alright, another ribbon, not that you fucking need it. It's very obvious here. It's probably going to get more overgrown as you start climbing up the other side, I think. That's probably what a lot of people complain about, is losing the track. But if you're smart with a good offline GPS map, you won't have an issue. Just make sure your map's loaded, obviously. Okay. Down. This creek looks more dry than the other one. Don't know if it's the same creek, the tributary of it, or what. Okay, now we'll be back on the up and up. It's even natural, like full wooden post with an arrow. Someone's put some effort into this. Probably a local conservative conservation lover. Yeah, people were complaining it was muddy and slippery. It hasn't rained for a while, but I can see this mud on the side of this hill, what they're talking about. It's probably going to get worse coming up here, but so a bit more overgrown in here, which is what I expected. I'm sure it'll be fine. Another gully, that's interesting. This is easy to walk, no lantana, that's great. Alright, now it's probably the up and up. Holy fuck, she goes up. Alright, so he's up here. So as soon as you cross that creek, the track will turn left and double back on itself. And it already gets a little bit confusing, like you can already see why people don't know exactly where to go, and it kind of looks like multiple directions. But I think this is the way. There's no ribbon here now, so they haven't ribboned it properly. That was another complaint of people that they wanted more ribbons. That's not a bad thing at this point because, as you can see, the track just fizzles out almost. So you're like, where am I going? So just keep trying to follow this. I'll check the map. Oh, sliding. There's the sliding complaints. Yeah, you can kind of see. You just really gotta look for the most obvious, well-worn. This is going back, so no one's done this for a bit then. If I'm even on the right section, the right track. Yeah, it'll be fine. It's going to take a bit of checking constantly on the map. This is lantana I was hoping I wasn't going to get, but it's not bad, but it's just annoying that I've got to break it. Still no ribbon. It's alright, there's a bit of a gap here. Oh, I just got stabbed by a lantana. Nearly in my ear hole. Someone's broken that semi recently because it's green. Turn might be on. Loose leaves are another complaint too, but I mean, leaves aren't bad. See, look, there's another track here, yeah, see? I wasn't even on it then. There's a marker pole. So somehow I lost it, somehow I found it again. That's weird. Alright, anyway, back to obvious. Later while, love ya, not. More termite mounds. Shows how dry it gets here, even though there's lush Merry Valley rainforest. This is a nice little section. We can enjoy this while we can. Oh, she's going to climb again. Another marker pole. Yeah, I don't know how we went off the track before, but we did. Alright, so he's up here. Alright, so it's going out of that denser part, out of the darker forest and starting to get higher. It's more open light. And still got a long way to go in a way because you see the cliff's still miles in front of us. But we're going to be going like that. So by the way, we've crossed into the reserve boundary. So the first part was, like I said, just easement of private property. We're actually calling this a park on the map. Kenilworth, something of a family park, but you can't classify this as a park. You ain't walking your dog here. This is a conservation reserve, so I don't know why they've named it like that. Anyway, if you know why, feel free to comment. Alright, I think I can. It's definitely going to be more fun going down. They do say all trails, reasonable fitness is really a necessity, and a lot of people rate this as hard. I don't think it's hard. It's just going to take it out of you, but you'll be fine. There's no exposure, no hectic parts. It's just up. Anyway, keep going up, I will. So yeah, we're now, by the way, you can see now we're on that shoulder, heading up, which I could kind of spy from the road before. Because as you can see, it's dropping down there and there. It's basically a spur, but yeah, it's just weird how it has full cliff face and just one, yeah, natural path up. I think I'm really lucky because this is very freshly cut Montana. It's either someone's just done this literally a few days ago and cut it, or it actually gets maintained by someone. Whoever did it, thank you. It's freaking awesome. Just wish that first part of the track was a bit more discernible. This actually might not be so bad to keep going to get up, because if they reckon you're going to get lost near the top because the track's all fizzled out, if they kept maintaining the whole way, it's probably going to be very, very obvious. We shall see. Alright, this is about 3/4 of the way. This is the part where we'll start scaling ourselves right along the face to cut back up. So, yeah, already getting views, which is great. I'm going to guess we're at 300 metres at least. Big gully down there, but yeah. So by the way, these tribs we crossed on the way in, first one was flowing, looks to be just a tributary to the Mary River, and the other two tribs the same. The ones that were dry, still technically other tribs of the Mary River that may flow obviously in summer, but yeah, obviously the first one's a longer creek, so flows for more of the year. Alright, progress. Starting to see rock, means we're close. It's pretty cool, but not quite sure what that is over there. It's all part of the Conondale Range obviously, but not sure exactly it's got a name or what it is. So far the track's been very obvious. There was only that one bit at the second creek crossing that was weird. Okay, we're going down a bit, which is a bit weird, but I guess we have to get around this rock to get up again. You see the end goal, so we need to get somewhere up there. God damn, might have to go down. So annoying. Anyway, that's the way it is. Oh, I just want to point out that we've come down here, but the track was going that way too. So that's very weird. I don't know what that is. My way seemed very, very straight through. If that just joins, I don't know. Just pay attention to the way back. There's a little orange bit of string tied to the tree. So whether it joins up or not, I don't know. It's just weird that the other way looked very obvious too. Along here we go. A few little spiky plants rubbing against me, but nothing bad. We're going down again. This is crazy. We go up, people. Wow. Okay. The track bends around here. We're not actually going down. Thank God. It's just a creek. So yeah, summit is nearly above us, as I said, but we need to double back to get up to it. That's just the way the cliff line goes. A bit weird because you've got an arrow here with the track kind of going that way, and you've got a track going down with ribbons. So I don't know if someone's got misunderstood. They believe the arrow meant to go down, so they started ribboning it, and you're meant to go that way, or this is the right way and this top track is wrong. It has been cut there as well. The secateurs. I feel like I don't want to go down, so I feel like this should be the right way to go. You think you have to get off this. Okay, so you have to go around this rock. I could have jumped off that, but the fact that there's a track here to go around, there's no point jumping off it. If that was the only way, I would have just jumped off. Okay. Well, I use rock in my way. Alright, so it's not that humid, but with all the energy exertion going uphill, I'm starting to get real hot and sweaty, so it's good for no shirt right now. Being the fact that it's not even 10 degrees. Still going down around again, it's fucking annoying. But These big walls is why. You can almost scale up that, almost. Up that bit of a rock, but it's going to be a bit slick. But anyway, for those who watched my Mount Croy video, oh wow, look at this video. Look at this view. Holy fuck, it's already going to get awesome up here. Yeah, so I did Mount Croy yesterday. By the end of the hike, my back of the sole of my boot fell off, which is shitty because these companies use real bad quality glue when they make these boots. Whole point is consumerism, so you keep buying more shoes. Yep, circle of life. So I re-glued it yesterday, and she's holding pretty well. It looks like shit, but it's just to get me through a couple more hikes. When this sole falls off again, I'm going to turf them. I would have turfed them now, but I'm trying a new glue. So I've tried out Gorilla Glue, and Gorilla Glue is supposed to be better. I've tried shoe glue, and it didn't even hold. So, yeah, it says for shoes, but it's crap. So we're doing Gorilla Glue this time. Give it a go. If it's no good, then I'll be retiring the shoes. But, yeah, we'll see how we go. So far, so good. It dried pretty fast, so that's the main thing. We've still got these big cliff falls to get around. It's pretty interesting, this hike. It's not bad. It's good that it's not really publicised too much, because clearly no signpost means, unless you've got an app, you're not knowing about it. I can't believe we're still going to keep going down and around. This is crazy. Alright. Every time we go down, there's another step you got to go back up. It's almost like you want to start the hike on this angle over here and come straight up it. That way you wouldn't be going up and down. But this is where the easier is, I guess. No, now we're starting to go up. Alright. Probably 500 metres. Maybe under a K. Bend around. As you can see, we've got to get the last 100 metres of elevation to get up. Probably drop back down to 250 again or something here. 300. Real narrow track, so I'm not going to be walking side by side holding your girlfriend's hand, that's for sure. It's good to clear sticks off the tracks for the next people, or more importantly, yourself on the way back down. So clearly when you go down a hill, you naturally move faster. Your body could almost run down the hill without even trying. And as you're coming down faster, you're going to trip over the sticks that you didn't pick up on the way up, which happens. So, if you clear the sticks now, I've got a more clear run to come back down at a higher speed and, yeah, not trip over. So, there you go. So you're basically just helping yourself. Alright, well, I'm sliding. It's not that loose, like there's loose sections, but it's not crazy. We're still going to dip down again. Jeez. Well, at least we get to the rock wall, that's the main thing. Surprised they didn't just hug the rock wall and just go along. They're looking for the way up, obviously, when they made this track. But they could have revised it. I guess I think this is the better way for whatever reason, but I think hugging the rock wall would have been good. That way at least you'd be not going down too much. We've got ribbons here, two different colours, orange and pink. Ribbon's still pretty old, that pink ribbon's a bit faded, but still intact. You hear a car down the road down there. Alright, seas off here. This here is pretty epic. There's a rock jutting out. I swear we could almost see that from down on the road. I remember seeing this rock jutting out. If it's not this one, it's one very similar. But yeah, let's keep going. Finally you can see our cliff dissipating, we can get up. I don't know why they're going around this way, why we wouldn't just cut up there. Anyway, follow their route. It'll be one degree easier. Bit of blinding sun. Yeah, we could double back. See, I told you, could just cut up there. Finally, the last bit. Now, like I said, I'm going to see how far we can get along the top of this. It may be super overgrown, and maybe we can't do more than just the end of this trail, but we'll see. We'll see. So far, it looks pretty open to walk. Might have some luck on top. Yeah. Alright, so I've just popped up on the edge of this spur. We've got some really good partial views popping through. We've got a marker point just here to make sure, to show you we are in the right way. And as you can see, there's only one way straight up this rock here, which is not too bad. But yeah, it drops off, so this is the way. They've just naturally found this one way up this cliff. How lucky. So by the way, looked on Gaia, it is called Kenilworth Bluff Nature Reserve or whatever. And on Google it's marked as a family park, so maybe they've changed the name over the years to a conservation reserve, which is, like I said, more fitting for what it is. So the first part of this, like I said, there's 3 different mountains on top of this bluff essentially. So when we first pop up, it's going to be called Mount Brooloo. So we'll see if there's a view on the end of the actual balloon, and then we'll go on a bit further to the lookout point that I've got marked, which I think is what we're calling the bluff. And if we can get up the far end, there's another one. I have to look up the name when we get up here. So cool. Let's climb this bad boy. It's like I'm doing Tubergargan. By the way, people, if you're sick of doing the glass house, come and do some of these other mountains up here. They're epic. Definitely recommend trying to do Kenilworth Bluff. If you want to get more adventurous, do Mount Wappa. Good views on that too. Even ocean view, even though it's semi off track. You should really got to be careful here because this is pretty slippy slide. If you're going down that, you ain't stopping for a while. So we started somewhere out there. Almost in my car soon. I reckon almost good. I think. Yeah, there was near the power line, so somewhere just there. I can see my car. Boom. Literally. Wow. So there was that cliff overhang I can see. Alright, let's keep going. I'm going to put this camera away. I need my hands just to be safe here. Hold on to more objects. I see there's an alternative route there. I don't know what that is, but we just come this way, and that's where the river is too. So maybe they've got a longer, wider way. They didn't like climbing that rock, but in all honesty, that rock wasn't too bad. Okay, so we're going to zigzag, keep going up. Alright, so I've popped up this last little bit. Views are just getting better slowly. We're not quite there, as you can see, a little bit further to go to get up on the shelf where Brooloo actually is. But you arguably think this was the start of it because there's a rock outcrop is pretty much, feels like it's the top of the peak. And even here, like, it's even hard to even believe you could get off this. That we just come up this, because from this angle you just think there's no way. You think it's just going to drop straight off, but somehow, yeah, we got up here. Alright, so we're going to meter along. Hopefully there's a viewpoint on Brooloo. If not, we'll get further along, I think. In worst case, with this partial views, we'll come back. But look at this cliff face too, where we just went around. Looks pretty cool seeing the bluff from this side. So there is a lot of trees on top, so even though we can maybe push through it, it's still maybe blocked for views on that far end. But we'll still try and see if there's any faint trail and see what we can do. Try and bag another peak out of it, getting to the other end. So yeah, soon. At least we've got flat now. It's pretty much the hardest part is done. Look at this! Wow, this is heading northeast pretty much. Yeah. So that looks like Karura popping through there. Interesting. vantage point. Crazy. Pretty epic. I wonder if people that live down there, we walk through their access, I wonder if they actually get up here, or if they've ever been up here. Some people live behind stuff and never climb it in their entire life, which is pretty fucking crazy. They're like, I just bought it for farming. No interest to climb the hill. No required effort. Little tiny little razorback here. This is crazy. It's a bit more technical at the top than I thought it would be. It's not bad, but I mean, just, yeah, it might be, I don't know. It's not bad, but it might just make you a little bit nervous. But then again, if you're already finding this stuff without signs, you should be adventurous enough to be here. Okay, nice and warm in the sun here. Okay, so it's getting wider. Massive quarry. This is cool. It's nice to get some real different views. Circle, someone's had a camp here. Good for them, what a wicked camp spot. Shout out to me in comments if you've camped here. Alright, so this is pretty much Brooloo, I reckon. The views are more on the end, which we will take photos on the way out then. Let's try and find more vantage points for the bluff. Spiderweb. Just trying to scour the edge for any good openings. Wow, that quarry's huge. There's a bit of a spot there actually. Cool. So it pays to spend a few seconds to look for views. Because we might not get good views to the north. This might be all we get. And it's a good spot, so we may as well use this rock. That's epic. If you ever wanted a photo of a quarry, here you go. A little bit loose, so don't fucking go off the edge or whatever the fuck you do. That is one drop off. Wow. Cool. A big chasm of rock there. I wonder if people that work in the quarry stare at this hill and go, one day I'm going to climb that, and they just never do. Which happens to a lot of people. Like, I should do it one day, and they just never find the time. Alright, I'm going to get some photos. I'm going to double check the exact summit of Brooloo, and then we'll keep moving. Alright, so this is pretty much the summit of Brooloo. So yeah, those quarry views are pretty much it. And what we saw on the way up, I'm not quite seeing much of a view this to the south, but we still did get on the way up on that shoulder, so that's still something. We're just trying to see where's this track go and get the lookout. This is quite a long bluff, so I don't know if I can get all the way to the other end, but we'll see. We'll see how keen we're going to feel and if it's going to be worth it. So yeah. So I'm just kind of looking for what's ever obvious here. The track really is make your own adventure now, which is fine. Like I said, it is manageable to walk through, but as I said, it's just blocking a lot of the views. This is the question, is it going to be worth it? But it does have a lookout symbol, so I'm going to keep fighting for that at least as a bare minimum. It's quite wide here. Alright, we'll get to there and we'll see what our options are. Hopefully they'll give us a good south view. I think it will. It looks like it's looking that way. I found a ribbon, so cool. Let's see if we can get any more. Here we go. I'm back on the ribbon path, so I don't know how. I think going to the quarry edge I kind of lost the path, but it doesn't really matter. You can walk through all of it anyway. It's just giving me reassurance that someone's put the effort to walk up here. And I've already lost two of them. It's crazy how you can just lose them. Where did it go, buddy? Oh, look, this is annoying. I want to just go the way I want to go because right now, spend more time looking for it than just getting there. I don't know where it went. Screw it. I don't care. How the hell can I just think it was so discernible and then not? Look, ribbon. There's the next one, buddy. Where is it? I think it just goes that way. It just seems obvious to me. Screw it, I don't need ribbons. Alright, well, two things. One, I went to where the lookout symbol's marked on my map and there's nothing here, it's all still blocked. I found a few more ribbons here and there. Look, is that one there? That's a leaf. But yeah, I did find a few ribbons sporadically leading me here. The other thing is too, the actual Kenilworth Bluff itself actually is outside the boundary of Kenilworth Bluff, so they've got a borderline through the middle of this mountain, which is weird. And then the last two peaks up the far end, I don't think we are going to get to them because it's called Brooloo and Mount Dewiri, yeah. And they're also outside of the park, so one, this track is probably not worth bashing all the way there. I'm just not seeing how I'm going to get views at this point. It's just a shame. There's supposed to be a lookout point. I'm just not seeing nothing. Just wanted a really good southern view. Yeah, I'm just trying to find one. Oh, there's almost one here. Almost. We just need a little bit of rock. I might confer with satellite, see if I can find something to go to. Oh, here's a rock. Look. Not really all we're going to get. But it's something. Alright, one rock, thank you. I don't think this is meant to be a lookout symbol, but anyway. We're close to it. We're past it. They were further back. Anyway. Wow. I can literally see my car. A little blue speck. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. I walked all that way. I'm gonna walk all the way back out again. So yeah, should be happy with this. You get a north view, south view, and you get a eastern view. You just can't get a real western view, which is what I hoped by walking along the whole bluff. Looks like pine plantation down in there. It's all rows of trees. So I reckon there could be a couple of waterfalls in that River Trib up in there, but it's just very hard to get access because you've got to get around all those paddocks to get in there. It's probably not really the best time of year anyway. So I looked over there, that is unknown named peak in what I think is, if I just check the map again, it's Kenilworth State Forest, no, Imbil State Forest. Listen, there's bellbirds down in that gully. Wait for them to do it again. Waiting. I don't have to come and pick that up, but it was like, look at that. Anyway, pretty epic, eh? Really can't complain. Beautiful blue sky day yet again. Rocking the winter. Every day is glorious. So yeah, alright, I'll snap a couple of photos and decide my next plan. Alright, so I'm debating to keep going. Still about 2 k's of this, but at least it's barely flat if I can move through it. It does have on Google a lookout symbol for Brooloo Bluff, so still a bit curious. We're gonna see if I find any more ribbons, which shows people have continued. But Not yet, but we'll just keep going. There's still a faint trail, which is, I think someone has walked this. Surely if you're camping up here, you'd explore the whole plateau. So yeah, we'll just meander on. Look, this seems still fairly obvious. Yeah, hopefully we get some good rest of views for our effort. Hope we don't go all this way and it just gets to shit, so hopefully it's alright. I think we're lucky. It just seems to be the same sort of brush, not really lantana, it's just all these pine trees that are broken from the wind. Yeah, so far so good. Thought it was a ribbon, but it was a leaf. Alright, I'll update you soon once I see how we go. Alright, so what I was going to do was just hug this southern side all the way around to the end, but I do notice we have the official Kenilworth Bluff is marked more to the other side, this northern side. So it drops off pretty tight, so there should be a view. So I'm going to start cutting towards that on the way there to have a look, and then when I come back I'll stick to the other side. So yeah, I've got to do a bit of shitty overland to get over there now, but if we get a view, it's been worth it. And I'm pretty sure that it will be. So see how we go. It's just funny how it's called Kenilworth Bluff track, but really you're only walking to the first Mount Banoon or whatever it was, and they don't really take you to the official bluff itself. It's a little bit strange. Alright, see you down here. Alright, so I've hit this creek between, it actually separates the bluff thing up. I wonder if it actually is waterfalls as well. So you can see it's already dried up, but I mean, little cascade here. It could be interesting for flowing. Interesting, I wonder if it gets bigger and bigger as it goes down off the edge, probably does. Alright, so this creek is not even really marked on my guide or even Google. It does have to drop off this mountain in some way, so there's definitely going to be a drop off, so it could be a really cool top of a waterfall. So I'm now going to detour just for that, so we can get a good view off that. Then we have to climb the last bit to get up to the bluff. So may as well look, this is not too much of a detour, it's just I've got to go down a little bit to get off the edge, but at least we've got a creek highway, so it's more just curiosity. Yeah, these are just tribs of the Mary River, so it's crazy. It could be really awesome when this waterfall flows. And it looks like it's going to be big down here, it has to be to get off, so interesting. Got a little trib joining in. So I just looked at the satellite and I can see a dark hole where this waterfall does drop off, so it's definitely going to be big. Maybe one day we can chase it from the bottom, but you still have to get from someone's property, which is always fun. I don't think it'd be super easy, but you never know. But at least for now we can try and get it from the top, which is something probably rarely ever seen. Who knows if anyone that's done this top plateau walk has bothered to look off the creek. Could I be the first one for a long time? Who knows? But if you know, if you reckon you've done it, chuck us a comment and let me know. But doesn't matter, I'm going to go explore. It's a shame she's dried right out, but it's a fairly wide plateau up here, but not enough to hold that much water clearly. Obviously the wrong soil type. Not far off, we've got about 100 or so metres where it starts to go off. I just hope it doesn't get choked in a bit before we get there. Hope there's no upper levels that restrict me from getting down. I want to get on the top of the big one, but again, we're going to find out. And then to get to Bloomberg, we have to just cut up again. So, not too steep, but I just got a Bloomberg to get the Kenilworth Bluff straight up there. It's getting a bit thicker now because we got a little bit lower because, oh geez, big spike, I nearly walked into that. Yeah, it's getting a little bit thick because we're going down to try and get to the top of the falls because we're going to climb back up again for the thickness. It might even be worth me, like the fastest angle is to cut straight up, but it might be worth gone back up to kind of where I cut in the creek originally, and then it's a bit thinner to go up, but I'll worry about that after we get this done. And yeah, let's hope Brooloo's worth it. Okay, so another little trib's joining in. This is going to get confusing on the way back. I don't know which one I come down. I'm going to stick to the right. Alright. Little deep pockets of pools here. We might be lucky. There might be enough little tribs drawn in that by the time we get to the waterfall it actually might be dribbling. We shall see. Well, there you have it. This has been logged before, because look at this. Clean cut. So this whole bluff was logged once upon a time. So that's what the trail is. It's once upon a time logging track to get up here. Actually wonder how the hell they got the timber off here, because bloody there's no way to drive up the horse and cart to get these logs off. Maybe they slid them off the side of the hill, which they do sometimes. If you watch my Bunya Mountains video, we went to one of these, what they call a chute. It was a timber chute where they literally just rolled the logs down the hill. We're nearly at the edge because the sun's coming out. So definitely loggers have seen the top of this waterfall. There's no way they could not have, so definitely not the first person. At least probably the first person for a long, long time. I'm surprised that log was left because it's quite a big, decent size. There we go. Get towards the edge. It's got to be epic. What a mad side dig to it without even knowing. This wasn't on the cards at all because the creek wasn't drawn in to really give me any interest to even think of this. Well, I'm so glad we didn't just go to that first lookout and turn around, because there's so much more to explore in this. Like dead branches. So much more to explore in this bluff. So this will be River Trib Falls. Very decent size, like you can already see. It's almost like infinity pool. It's a shame this isn't flowing, it'd be just a little bit cooler. I'm glad it wasn't really, well we don't know yet because we're not on the edge, but I was going to say, looks like we're going to get a view, we're not full stuck with trees shrouded in the top, so stuff and worse get top of a waterfall when you can't really see down. This happens normally in dense rainforest, but it's a bit dry here, so it's not much of an issue. Look at this. It's already looking Instagrammable. What side do I want to go on? Let's go this side. Now, so I found an infinity pool in the sunny coast recently. This is going to be another one, I think. Sunny coast doesn't have a lot of them. Not as many as Gold Coast. Yeah, it'd be cool to get to the bottom of this one day. Holy fuck, look. It's going to be grouse. Let's go this side. Well, it looks like there is going to be like one little tier above. See, because I knew these lines were going to be so tight, I knew it was worth going up this, technically down it because we're going downstream. This little crazy little canyon bit. If this was flowing, you'd have little pools here. Part of the top of the infinity pool. Wow. Interesting. Really gorgy here. Look at that. Holy fuck. This is what we can see on satellite. Yeah, right. Yeah, so we'll go a bit further. The next level, she's just dribbling. A deep pool. I haven't done really any River Tribs yet, and I was hoping to. Maybe we get some, but unfortunately, just wish they were better flow for ticking the River off. It's gravelly here. Cut back through to the creek. Still got another level to get down before the edge. But we're close. You ain't going to climb all the way down, I know that. But she is steep. This is really cool. This is all the rock you can see on satellite. Come on, Branch. Live over there. This would have so many cool cascades if this was flowing. Yeah, this would be sick. It's a real shame. That's the problem with peaks in winter. You don't get the waterfall value. If I knew. That'd be another cool level. So we've got like 3 good levels. And then this bad boy. So it cuts into there too. Might be 2 levels. Or 2 sections. Holy fuck, hey. Look at this view. That's grouse. So the Mary River lies just over there, I believe, behind the quarry running that way. So this will meander its way through. So yeah, there's a lot of rain to get this pumping. This is the cool chill out spot anyway. If you make the effort to get up here, sitting here all day in the sun, it'd be grouse. But it was a bit of effort. It took me an hour to get just up the bluff alone, probably another 40 minutes to get to here. And yeah, like you're half bashing, as you saw. Still gotta get all the way around there. So I reckon that is Kenilworth Bluff, this bit here, that round bit. Okay, so that's our destination next. Doesn't look really much of a view, but then again it does roll off tight, but then again the trees might block it. This might be better view than the bluff. Hard to know. Just try and get down a little bit more. Holy fuck. I'm going to use my hands and climb down carefully and get down to the next level here. Alright, so I've climbed down one more tier. As you can see here, drops down again, and then there's one more before the actual real massive drop. So I can kind of get down because I can go this way. So in this little gully here, it's kind of like it just meanders its way down. I could almost just go through there, or I could go around and go down and be safer. It looks a bit steep, it looks manageable. See how we go. If we get to our last ledge, that'll be pretty cool. Get a view of this and this. This is really the upper falls we're on now. That first cascade you can't really see from the bottom. It's really lower, upper, and then whatever's above. So yeah, the fire over there. Those machines are so noisy, like it's so loud from here. Just imagine working down next to it. Jeez. Alright. I can kind of shimmy that way. I just don't want to slide off the wrong way. There's not much to hold onto the rock. But let me just have a look of going around and down a bit safer. Let's just see. The water does kind of split. This actually might be the more the main waterfall. That other bit might be just as we were on that rock. Line only flow during the heavy flow. So as the water gets funneled this way, as you can see, it's dribbling down more than where it was dry. I think I can still get down this. I'll probably use the rock wall. I could try and go that way. Alright, so I've climbed down this. It's almost near vertical, by the way, but going down the crack of the wall was just enough to hold on to, and that log actually did help a bit, so it's fun. We're almost at the edge. Go a bit further and see what we can see. Alright, so this is our next slab of rock. So as you can see, water is dribbling down it, so it does flow in 2 parts. And we're still not quite on the edge yet. We can go a little bit more till death drops right off. So you got this rock over here. It's like a cool cleft. It's very interesting. It kind of cuts right in, shuts out. Yeah, wow. So interesting. I doubt anyone's climbed down in this level of rock in a long time, put it that way. So, yeah, that's my claim to fame. Alright, try and get down that last little bit. It's fucking dodgy. So, down there you've got Moy Pocket Road, and then the Mary River's on the other side. And you know what? You can probably sneak in here on a Sunday during summer when it's flowing, get all through those quarry roads, and then just bash the last bit and get to the base of this. So, there you have it. There's an idea for the future. So, yeah. Alright, we still can't see perfectly down because it juts out a little bit more, but you can see rock down there and where it's going to cut through. But yeah, I'll tell you what, it was nerve-wracking this last bit. Doesn't look as bad, but it's just hectic. But anyway, I'm here, I'm done, we're going back up. This should be the sketchiest bit of the whole day was this, because they wouldn't have been planning this. most of the other bluff stuff, we're just on top. We won't be going off the edge like this really. So once we find another random creek, then maybe we'll do the same thing again, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's get up and out. Alright, decided just to fucking just go straight at the bluff and not try and go back up the creek, so a lot of trees to bash through. And then hopefully, yeah, up to the side, get back on the other side again. Because this is the northern side, plenty more sun, this is growing thicker, it's more of this sharp, scrabbly fucking shit. Oh. Yep, it's getting bashed everywhere with these sticks. Got a bit of a dense section here. Whether it's good or bad for having a bit of shade, in the sense of maybe less thick to walk. No, it's still pretty thick. Just more shaded than before. Okay, keep going. Alright, so that was pretty thick through there. Got this random little grass open section. We're about halfway from the creek to the Kenilworth Bluff, the actual marking point. So let's see if there's a view and if there's a rock hand of sorts. I'm just trying to cut up. Finally just got a little bit thinner forest, which is great. That part sucked. It was definitely the hardest part of the whole thing. It was really thick compared to what we've been through. So anyway, soon we'll get there. Starting to creep views back to the other side again, which means we're on the almost end of the plateau again. By the way, I tried to search for Google and for Wikiloc for a trail that goes to Brooloo Bluff, and I'm not finding one, so still just gonna go on our own. There's evidence of logging cut down. I did find a track for geocaches on here, so I'm not looking for them today, but there are apparently some geocache hidden up here, so that's interesting. And so I think we're starting the bluff because we're not at the edge, but yeah, we're on this higher point, and the plateau still goes down a little bit. This might be a logging track right here. Look at this little cut bit. Seems very cut along this side. I'm assuming this is going to go up where we want to go. So I'm going to jump on this. Oh. Right, see up here. I went for some pretty thick ferns. I'm almost there, safe on top of this. There's a bit of this track now. I don't know what it is, whether it's an old road or it is the old walking track, but pretty steep here. But anyway, we've got a cleared section, so we'll take it. Up we'll go. And then we'll try and get back on the southern side of the plateau, I think. Alright, so here comes the interesting part. This is where the reserve finishes. This is the line. And they put a fucking 2 signs to really piss people off. What dogs? Seriously? Because the actual bluff is just up there in that cleared bit. You suck. You do all this traipsing, now I can't get the last bit. How annoying. Can I see a house? No. I'm going to look on satellite, but I reckon we can shoot straight up there. It's only just in that where the black boy is, pretty much. Like I either have to traipse along this whole tree line to get there. She's still got a fucking sign in the cunt, but you can hide more in these trees. There's a house, but way further down. But clearly he mows and looks after it. But I don't think we're going to get to Brooloo from here. I don't know how they do it because clearly there's a house like right in the middle of this hill, like I've just realised. So this is interesting. Should I just turn around to that waterfall? Yeah. Let's push on to the last bit of the bluff. I want to get to the official bluff. And someone's pulled this wire down here. Looks like the same idea. Okay, see how we go. So I traipsed all through this bush. I've jumped out over this fence here. I don't know what the fuck that yellow thing is over there. It's weird. An old fence there, like, I'm surprised they've got the houses up here after all that shit we just went through. I guess this sounds easy to drive up. You know, but look at this view, fantastic. It's a shame that he's hiding this part, but this is where it's cleared, so this is where you get a good view. I think we're not going to do Brooloo from here. I just think it's going to be too much. So yeah, we'll head on back out. It's still pretty cool. I'm hearing a car, but I can't hear how far away it is. Anyway, get on out. Yep, fun times. Hopefully I find a better way back from this southern side of the escarpment. So we'll just see how we go. Maybe I could try and do Brooloo from the other end, maybe, because I need to get through private property, get up a spur, and then have a shorter hike as well. That's something for me to investigate later. It's just weird that don't have information about it from here. It's just a long trek to go past this house through this bush. So, anyway, we have animals up here. What do you even use all this land for, bro? It's so selfish. Like, I've got land, I'm not using it, but you can't use it either. Just let people walk there, man. Like, leave along the easement on the side. I mean, people were nice enough to let us use the easement to get in here in the first place. It's like he's never going to use that side and just drop you right off. It's just stupid. He's got this as a nice windbreak, but he's got no views on that direction, so that's a bit silly. I'd have that cut down and get a bit of a view. That's me. Alright, the time is 11:30ish. I started at 8:30. It's 12 now, so it's been 3.5 hours. I think I'll get out at least probably 2 hours. See how we go. Like I said, it took me an hour to get up to the first part of the bluff. If I have a good hour to get on the escarpment, if I'm lucky, an hour and a half at the worst. I'd say 2.5 for most of it. See how we go. Yeah. I'm wondering out. We wish this was mowed the whole way to the escarpment. It would have a nice run. Oh well, can't win them all. I'm surprised they got some of it as a conservation and not the entire whole bluff. I guess these guys had already built on it and they weren't going to give it up. That's fair enough. There is a ribbon here, so I'm kind of wonder if that's denoting the fact that you can continue to Brooloo this way. I don't know. If I had some more information about Brooloo, I'd be a bit. Look at this. That whole thing's fucked. Look at this. Oh, white ants galore. This is drum. I think I'm better off going over the wire than trust some timber. If I had a bit more information about Brooloo and knew they did it from here, I'd probably just give it a crack. But yeah, I just know that there's a house on top. If there was no house on top and just scrub, I probably would have just kept powering through. But that's all good. Alright, we've seen really, well, 4 good things. We saw the first peak. We've got views on the side now. We found the waterfall lookout, and then we found the official Kenilworth Bluff over there. It's weird because that's not really a bluff, it's more of a plateau of Kenilworth Bluff. Surprised they don't call it Kenilworth Plateau, because that's really what that is, that whole area. The bluff should be right on the edge of the cliffline, which it wasn't marked there. But anyway, I think the top of that waterfall should be really Kenilworth Bluff Falls. That's what I reckon. And this is Kenilworth Plateau. I'm renaming it, screw it. Because I can. Alrighty. Let's power out. So by the way, those other peaks up the end, Brooloo and that, they're marked on Q Topo. That's how I got the names. They weren't marked on Gaia or anything. Google does have a Brooloo lookout marked on there, but there's no information, like I said, to get it there. So okay, we've got to drop down a little bit here, which is expected because we went up this section here. So this is kind of like the faint road, I reckon. So this is how they would have got the timber out. They would have dragged the timber past the old farmhouse. The old house probably is originally from the logging area, that's why. That's interesting. Okay. Hopefully we don't have too thick. Hopefully this will feed into something easier for me to walk on the right, as I said. Alrighty. Down, down, down. Alright, so I'm just cutting right. I'm not finding any obvious trail. So that's interesting. But anyway, across this little gully here. This could be one of the, there could be multiple little tribs that join into where we just were on that waterfall, but no doubt it's one of them. Don't know if we'll cross any more. I think there's more speed into it. Go up and over a little bit. Just trying to get back to that southern side. Alright, now we've pushed back to that creek. Now we're going to keep going up and over. Alright, so I figured out how I lost the track on the way through when I crossed the creek. So the trick is you've got to turn left along the creek, not actually straight up the other side, which looked like there was a trail. So people have made the mistake, and now they've worn a bit of a track on up the wrong bit. So yeah, when you get to the creek, turn hard left, then you cross the creek a little bit further down, and the track will be flagged. It makes more sense. Anyway, nearly up and out to the fucking last bit of the seat where the stairs will be, and yeah, longer than expected is good. I'm actually glad I did this first of the day. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like and how long, and yeah, so it's good so far. Alright, so now I'm going back down the stairs. This is the last part of the journey, then we're back through the private property easements. So yeah, it's nice to be going down this way and not back up it again. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this journey. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share the video around, hit notification bell for me if you haven't already, so you get notified of all the new misadventures. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5.